All right, this is gonna be a quick little video, nothing fancy. Let's get started. What are we looking at into next week? So we're always gonna start with the sectors since we want to confirm breaks between sectors, sector ETFs. So what we initially see is the Qs. Forgive me. We're gonna get the month up here instead of the day. So we're gonna initially see the Qs, 3-2 up quarter. That's good. That's an expansion. You get the rest of this quarter to keep doing that. So a 3-2 hammer week reconfirms that. If you go to SMHs then, you're going to see the 2-2-2 hammer weak, a little weaker than the Qs, not strong enough to go 3, but 2-2 hammer and force next week takes you back up there. And you go to XLK, that's going to be the technologies. There's your hammer counter shooter. That's something you'd want to know about. And initially, what we want to also talk about before we get to the weekly signals is Apple. So 3-2-2 hits its magnitude, the earnings, then right back in. So what are we looking for next week? Rev strat, or actually 3-2 day here, could keep you going all the way back up to outside month. Potential to go 3 on the monthly basis after not doing anything to start the year. So we'll see if Apple wants to do that. Google had a shooter on the month, did not take it in force, sets up a rev strat day, potentially back into the gap, and then we'll just have to see. Same deal though. If that doesn't reverse, you're trying to go up there. So 2-2 down here could be pretty good. As far as signals we're looking for next week, then in the SMHs, you're going to have AVGO. Hammer counter shooter week tells you it's trying to go back up there. Tells you look at our LRCX. Hammer counter shooter week as well. Notice this one didn't puke as hard as the rest of them, so if it's going to recover, maybe it recovers faster than the rest. We're also going to see relative strength in TSM with the inside week Momo hammer setting up. And what this tells us is we're going to reconfirm that 3-1-2 year, which reconfirms a double inside quarter. So this is something you want to know about because once this is in force, you have 1, 2, 3 signals in force telling you it's going higher. So it should. And we can also then go to AMD. That's a hammer week as well. Reconfirming inside up in force on the year. Reconfirming a 1-3-2 rev strat quarter that's continuing. And we can also then go to Marvel. It's going to be a little weaker. Potentially that one starts going again. Did take last year's highs. QCOM, we're going to see, is a good bit weaker than the rest. So if any of them are going to puke, it might be QCOM. If everything's rallying and this one starts taking last week's lows, that's how you know there's a problem. You could PMG through these guys, which would trigger the month down, negate the year, and then maybe QCOM falls out of favor, goes 3 on the quarter. We'll just have to see. There's no continuity there to tell us that quite yet. Then within the XLK technologies, with your 2-2-2 hammer week setting up, tells you to look at SMPS, which is an inside week relative strength to the tech. Inside week up could trigger the month 2-2 reversal after corrective activity here. Just looking for last year's highs, and then we don't know. We can then go to crowd, which is an inside week here. 3-2 expansion on the year. So if you've ever seen Tesla, if we go to Tesla here, that's a 3-2 right there. So when you have a 3-2, things get bigger and quicker. So you really want to pay attention to those. So crowd is going to be one of those. Pan W is also going to be another one of those. 3-2 on the year with the hammer week. So we want to know about those two for sure. D-Dog is going to be another one moving with crowd. 3-1 on the week, which reconfirms a 2-2 year here, trying to go back up there. We also then know we should be looking at W-Day. Inside week, it's at the all-time highs, or at least right under them, I mean. Still a 3-2 quarter with the rest, trying to go to 309.01. Then we don't know, but we'll have to see if they keep going. And there's also going to be IBM, which has a little bit of mother bar problems on the week, but potentially your inside day triggers this PMG and gets that moving on Monday. And then if they come back Tuesday, it could just go and take those highs out. So we'll see. Still got magnitude to try and take out all-time highs on the yearly basis there. Then the last one we've got is FTNT. And you're going to see here 3-2-2 quarter in force with the inside week Momo hammer to try and reconfirm that. Once we take out 67.36, we hit short-term exhaustion, but if the buyers step up, since the quarter's going, we could go back to 81.24. So that's what we're going to want to know about there. Other things that we do see is in the energies, got a little bit of weakness. So we said we wanted them back up, and we still do if this doesn't reverse back down next week. But in the energies, we see things like this. See XOM. Potential 3-2-2, fun to say and fun to do, off the top of your broadening formation like so. So if that starts going, that's a big problem because this is taking last quarter's lows and last year's lows. So corrective on the month, green, and then if this goes red back through that 3 with the 2-2 week in force, you could take out last month's lows, and then that would start puking the year, which I'm not really expecting that, but that's what the price action is trying to tell us. If we go to MRO, you're going to also see quarterly 2-2 enforce, some PMG to go take out this stuff, and a RevStrat weak actionable signal to try and do that under 22.3. So we'll keep an eye on those two. A few other weak ones you'll see TTE. That could go 3-2-2 as well next week. Still inside quarter, still inside year, still inside month, but 3-2-2 tells you you're trying to take that out. So we'll see. We can go to MUR, which would be a Randy Jackson. 2-2-2, also enforced on the quarter with MRO. You could PMG through these guys, maybe even be weak enough to take that out. And it is decently red on the year. It was bright red last month, so if the sellers show up again under this, 37.81, that would reconfirm what they did last month, and that tells us the sellers are here and they're actually trying to sell that one. So we'll keep an eye on those. Weaker, or the weakest one we'll see there is HAL. Everything went 2 up last week. This one stayed inside. So inside and down here could retrigger the quarter. Again, same type of PMG little play, but you're still a double inside year here, and the month is not bright red, year's not bright red. So we'll just have to see. Energies, it's kind of hit or miss. We'll have to see those energy numbers on Wednesday. They could get those things moving. The stronger stuff in energies will be like CVX. So that's bright green to start. Nowhere near a 2-2 week next week, and a 2 going 3 on the year. So there's a few things trying to recover. We'll just have to play that one by ear and see what they want to do the rest of this quarter. So I'll see you guys in the next video, and hopefully you guys have a great trading week.